Welcome to another episode of Life and Whiskey. As always, I'm Jordan, and as promised in the last video, we're doing another Buffalo Trace White Dog now. In the process of cleaning my glass between takes here, I did rinse the glass, drink the water, and that weeded whiskey, which was sitting at 114 proof, 57%, was really sweetened up with that water in there, and you got a really heavy, nice corn sweet flavor with that as well. So I did not do that on camera, add some water, which I'm probably going to do to this just to see what happens, because this is sitting at much higher proof. And it tasted more like a corn whiskey at that point. So just something to keep in mind. I do have some water here. I do have my eyedropper here. So this video is about the rye mash. Now, picked this up in Gillette for $16.99. First time I've ever seen this. Another recap. So we got the rye mash. Just did the weeded mash, which I believe is like a Weller. I believe this is more like Sazerac rye. As far as where you're going to see this white, or what you'll see this white dog turn into. And then the one that I cannot get my hands on or haven't seen is mash bill number 2, which is the majority of Buffalo Trace products out there. So let's dive into this. Once again, stick with me as I tear into this. Have not had this at all. Have no idea what to expect, but White Dog, or new make, is the unaged version of stuff, basically right off the still. It can be proofed down, but not necessarily. And 62. This rye is 62.5% ABV, or 125 proof, which is the the maximum barrel entry proof that you can have, which means that at 125 proof is the highest proof you can go into an oak barrel with for rye, bourbon, wheat, any of the straight component whiskeys. As far as American TTB standards are set, American whiskey and just the general term whiskey have very different standards, but for malt, rye, bourbon, wheat, trying to think of some of the other things. They all have that standard of no more than 125 proof. So this is as high as she gets for barrel entry. That does not mean that this came off the still at that proof. It probably came off the still somewhere between 140, and I believe those same spirits have a maximum distilling proof of 160. So it's been a while since I've read TTB regulations, so I could be wrong on that. But yeah, let's get into this bottle. Let's see what it has to offer. Once again, I'm a fan of new make or White Dog, and a lot of people probably won't be. Very similar profile to that weeded White Dog. Most White Dog has that very similar. I said the Sprees candy. If you've ever had Sprees, they have kind of that tart, sugary, sweet, tangy, minerally flavor to them, and kind of a generic fruit flavor, like not a very specific like lemon or strawberry flavor. I would say that is the most closely related nosing note I can give you, is that this smells and has a little bit of flavor profile. Or sorry, not this. New make has that same nose and flavor profile as a Spree candy somewhat. Or a Mentos. The fruit flavored Mentos, not the mint ones. Kind of that generic fruity sweetness. A little bit of grain, a little bit of green vegetal note in there. A little bit lively. The proof is not jumping out of the glass. Smells nice. I like it. It's got a little bit of viscosity to it. Going in on the sip for the rye. Okay, it has a rye grain spice forward, moves into a generic grain dust component, has a dryness to it, a tinge of a citrus sweetness in there, like orange, and then kind of finishes with that orange and a little bit of a green vegetal spike. The ethanol hits you at various points throughout the flavor profile and in different ways. It doesn't come just as a heat or as an overwhelming spike of ethanol. It has, golly, almost like an orange dreamsicle finish on it. Definitely a little bit of citrus in there. That rye, like rye grain spice forward. Boy, I really like that. This is a roller coaster ride from, yes, it smells like what most new make smells like if the cuts were made properly. It goes from that to a flavor profile that is what most people would imagine rye tasting like. I think this would age out really, really well and be something quite nice to play with. So rye, barley, and corn recipe. Again, didn't look up any of their mash bills. I like it. I like it a lot. Second sip, very new makey. Grain, a weird spice and sugariness to it. Sorry, I said spice. I meant fruity, like this odd fruitiness to it. Again, not out of the realm of what to expect from any new make. Most new makes are fairly similar, or at least playing in the same, they're playing on the same playground, let's say that. Some people might be over on the slide, some people on the swing set, but they're in the same playground here. I like it because I can pick out subtle flavors. Like I just got like a butterscotch in there that I could see coming into play at different points along an aging process. Again, this is not going to be for the average person out there. I would say the kind of person that most likely would appreciate this and like this is somebody who is pretty deep in the whiskey and wants to experiment, wants a little bit of a funky adventure and see where things are coming from. Again, I'm pretty sure I have a bottle of Sazerac here. Not 100% positive that this mash bill goes into that, but I think it is, and might be a good comparison, and you'd be able to pick out some stuff. Maybe I'll make a video where that's all I'm doing is comparing this to Sazerac and the wheated one to the Weller. We'll see, but again, $16.99, and both of these have been $3.75s. They're not $7.50, so it's fairly expensive for an unaged spirit. Also, another reason to kind of steer you away from that if you're not quite prepared or if you're not really interested in seeing where things come from. If you just want good whiskey, this is not going to be kind of your wheelhouse. I think it's good whiskey. It's just not what most people think of as whiskey. So there you go. There is the rye mash bill from Buffalo Trace. I think it's a winner, but I'm going to steer most people away from it. $16.99 for a $3.75 in Gillette, Wyoming. Let me know down in the comments down below what your experience with White Dog or new make is, and whether or not you've had Buffalo Trace's version of that. And let me know what the price is in your area for a bottle of that. And go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, share this video, do all that sort of stuff. Check out LifeandWhiskey on the different platforms. Bitchute, Minds, although my Minds account I'm kind of letting go. YouTube, Rumble, I have the account. I just don't have any videos on it yet. Someday when I find some time, I'm going to have to take and move all of the videos over onto Rumble. That is something that takes a fair bit of time because this will be video number 180 something, 190 something. I don't know. It's a lot. So I got almost 200 videos to move over, and that is just the whiskey review stuff. So Anyways, thanks for watching. You guys have yourselves a great day, and we'll catch you in the next video.